Hi, Tim Sales here. In this video, I'm going to be covering how to make more money, network marketing versus everything else. All right, to start this off, I just want to kind of talk about something here. And that is that I'm not here to invalidate anybody's profession or something that they love. I loved everything I ever did. I loved cabinet making. I loved mowing yards. I loved defusing bombs. I loved skydiving. I loved diving, like hard hat, deep sea diving. Just everything I ever did, I absolutely loved up until the point where I wanted something different or more. Okay. And there was a point where I needed more money. And so I thought, man, there's this fight between something that I love versus something that is going to provide me the money that I need. And so I think it's best for you to separate those two. And a lot of people are of the doctrine that do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And I've seen that not work out so well in a lot of people's lives. And so I'll see them go to school on a particular subject that at the time they really wanted to do, they got a degree in it and they never do it. And I think it's a lot of people. And so just keep that in mind as you go through here, that I'm not here to invalidate or to cut down anything that you love, okay? This really is talking about the direction towards money, okay? And lifestyle as well. And then also, this was a requested video. They wanted me to cover all of the comparisons that I've done, but do it on a higher plane. In other words, if we're on the runway on an airplane or something like that, we're on the ground and it's bumpy, right? And so it's deep content. And those are videos that I've already done. And we get into the math and exactly how the math was extracted and things like that. And so I'm going to put links down in the description. And so make sure that you hit details and be able to look at all of those. And if you want to drill down into one of those, then you're welcome to do so. All right. So and I'm not talking from theory. Okay, this is my track. These are all the side hustles. These are all the jobs. These are all the, the various different things that I did. This is about 59 years. No, not quite that much, but it's a long time that at least 40 years that I've been working in various different things. Okay, so I'm going to go through, and I just wanted to share that I've done the things that I'm going to talk about. And if I didn't, I'll tell you at the time. So in order to really grasp like a high altitude position and looking across all business models, you have to understand this piece. Okay, so these are product-based businesses that you might do. And that might be affiliate marketing. It might be network marketing. It might be Amazon sellers. It might be mom and pop shop or any of that stuff. And so what you've got to have in your head on this is that it starts in raw resources. Somebody has to extract this out of earth. It then gets manufactured. And then there is the legal, the licensing, the packaging, and the countries, languages, things like that. That's the branding. That's the, how it looks in the package. And then it gets warehoused, and then it's picked up, it's packed, it's shipped, goes to different countries. And so shipping is a part of that. And then it gets sold, and it could be sold in a brick and mortar, could be on an online, it could be from a sales rep. Okay? And then again, that's countries. And then there's customer service. And I'm not talking about serving the customer over here. I'm talking about customer service as in returns, complaints, restocking, shipping, multiple countries. All right. So I chose sales rep. And the reason that I chose it is because I want to partner with everybody else. In other words, I don't want to do this. 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 And I don't want to do this. But what I do want to do is I want to acquire the customer. That's what I want to do. And the reason being is because it provides the highest margins. In other words, the margins between here and here, here and here, here and here, and here are very small compared to the person who gets the customer. The person who gets the customer is the person who's closest to the customer. Therefore, they get the highest margins and the most security. You say security. What do you mean security? Okay, if you work at a job, let's say as a janitor, then how far away are you from the customer, right? Or the customer acquisition. The person who gets the customer's job is always secure, okay? That's the thing. The further away you are as an employee in a company, the further you are from the customer, the easier you are to cut. Because when there's not a lot of money coming in, they will always keep the group that is acquiring the customer, okay? So that's where the highest security is and the highest margin. So that's the way, that's the model that I have found through my whole track that is the very best in terms of money. So what is direct sales and network marketing? All right, so it's basically a partnership. Remember I said I want to partner with all of this and I want to partner with all of that? Well, I've found the best partnerships in direct sales, and I explain why. Number one, you choose the company based upon products, compensation, policies and procedure, culture, training, countries, life cycle of the product, life cycle of the company, etc. You get to choose that. Company provides raw materials, manufacturing, branding, warehousing, shipping, returns, and countries to do business in. You acquire customers, you own your customers. You acquire reps if available. In other words, that's where the multi-level comes into play. Not all direct sales companies allow that, if you will, and then you provide the training to them, okay? And you get trained. You earn the upside potential of what you and your team build. All right, so that is the primary reason that I like to partner with direct sales companies. And the other one is that I have found that their products, they are more devoted to their product line. I can go into, let's say, there's Affiliate Junction, there's various different companies that provide affiliate programs. And almost all of them that I see, their products are made out of China, and you never know how long that person is going to be in business or that product, okay? And so I like companies that are devoted to a particular brand of products. Okay, so how is that customer acquired? No matter where. Okay, so there are some defaults that always exist. And I want to show you how you get customers, or anybody gets customers. You have to generate a lead and then contact the lead. You set an appointment for them to see a presentation. You follow up, you get a customer, you serve them, you make money. All right? And the reason that I know this is the defaults, in other words, every single one of these are laws of how customers get acquired, because I never got a customer in my life that I didn't show a presentation. So that has to be in there. Sometimes I followed up. Sometimes they bought right on the spot. I never did a presentation to somebody I didn't contact. Sometimes I needed to set an appointment. A doctor would need to set an appointment. An attorney would need to set an appointment. Okay? Sometimes you need reservations to go eat. Okay? But never did I ever do a presentation without contacting somebody. And in order to contact somebody, I had to generate a lead. That was true for my wife. I had to set an appointment to go out to dinner. I was the presentation, if you will. And then I followed up. And then I kept doing that for 3 years before we got married. Okay, you get the idea that this is always the case in any acquisition of anything. If a politician wants votes, he has to do the pipeline, he or she. If they're going to get somebody into college, the college has to do this. Everybody has to do this thing. All right. So, and I'll make one point here that has to do with my wife, and that is that it isn't about selling and convincing somebody to buy something they don't want to buy. And a lot of times I find people that that's what they're afraid of. But Do not be afraid of that, because you would be doing it wrong if that was your technique. What I wanted was a very similar situation with my wife, which is the reason I followed up for so long is I wanted to make sure that she wanted the relationship as much as I did. And so it's really a violation of the pipeline to try to convince that person that doesn't want it. Okay, and it only leads to errors and upsets. Okay, all right. And then the other thing is that some people say, well, I wasn't a born salesperson, and Tim, you were. No, I was not. I assure you. I didn't even know the English language. How in the world could I be a born salesman? I had to be taught the English language. I had to be taught math. I had to be taught everything I know. Who is born to defuse bombs? Who's born to jump out of airplanes? Who's born to be a diver? Nobody. All right? That's nonsense for someone to kind of put that in someone's head. You can learn anything you want to learn as long as you find the right training. And that I will forever be indebted to U.S. Navy Special Operations, because that's where I learned that I could learn anything. Okay, so let's start off with job as a sales rep. Salary, okay, so there is commission only sometimes, and there is salary plus commission. And I am talking now about salary plus commission. A salary locks you into an employee contract. You earn on acquisition, not on future sales. And so you're paid a commission, or you're paid no commission. You just have the job of making sales. Okay? But you earn on the acquisition. Okay? So you may get a commission, but often you do not have any access to future sales from that company. You did the hardest job in the whole game, and you gave it to them for a salary. And to me, that is a bad deal. It's a very bad deal. Okay? If you acquired the customer, you want to make sure that you keep getting commissions as long as that customer is a customer. You get a salary that puts you into the W-2 tax system. There are two tax systems in America. One is for the wealthy, which is 1099 tax system, and W-2 is really to take wealth away from you. All right? Network marketing pays for the life of the customer. That is the reason that I prefer network marketing over a job as a sales rep. That puts me in the 1099 tax system, which is the wealthy tax system. You start over, in this situation, you start over every payday. There's no residual income. And so that's the reason that I would opt to not do that model. In other words, if you know the pipeline, all right, this is a simple one, but if you know the pipeline, then you don't want this situation. If you don't know the pipeline, then you'll stay here as long until they figure out that you don't know the pipeline, then they fire you. That's really the scene. Whenever somebody says, oh, I want a salary just to make sure that my wife wants that, or my spouse wants that for me, or something like that. You can just imagine that job interview where you're asking for a salary plus commission. What you're really saying is I don't believe I can do the pipeline, and I want you to cover my butt when I don't make sales. That's really what you're saying in that situation. So if you can do the pipeline, you don't want this. Network marketing versus real estate agent. Okay, so 2 times more people will earn $50,000 in network marketing. 3 times more people will make $75,000. 11 times more people will make $100,000 in network marketing than as a real estate agent. The real estate broker makes a little bit more. Why? Is because that the more people you have doing the pipeline, the more money you make. Why is it that network marketing will provide 2 times more in the $50,000 category than a real estate agent? And then it progressively gets more and more percentages. It's because in network marketing, you're training a sales team. And there's more people doing the pipeline. A real estate broker may have 4, 5, 6 agents, 10 agents, 20 agents, something like that. So the broker would make more money because there are more agents doing the pipeline. That's the only reason. And I just want to bring one more point up having to do with the pipeline. How is it that a real estate agent will sell one house. Well, they have to do the pipeline. In other words, they have to put that house that they want to sell in front of enough people. How many people? Well, enough to sell one home. Okay? And there's a big percentage, a couple of like 100,000 or 200,000, something like that, that go through the entire process to become an agent and never sell one home. Just as there is in network marketing, there's a big, huge drop in the number of people who sell one. But what does it take to sell one? The pipeline. And so it isn't whether or not somebody was meant to be or anything like that. It's can they learn to move prospects across the pipeline? That's all that it is. Network marketing versus YouTube influencers. Okay, so there's a lot of talk right now around the influencer industry, whether it be Facebook or whether it be Twitter or whatever. And that is that, get out there and do a video every day and become an influencer. All right. Network, 145 times more people will earn $50,000 in network marketing than as a YouTube influencer. 94 times more people will make $75,000. 79 times more people will earn $100,000 than YouTube influencers. Network marketing versus actors, and this would include entertainers, musicians, and things like that. 19 times more people will earn $50,000 in network marketing. 13,000 more people will earn $75,000 in network marketing. 14 times more people will earn $100,000 in network marketing. Network marketing versus Amazon sellers. 2.8 times more people will make $50,000. 1.8 times more people will make $75,000. 2 times more will earn $100,000 in network marketing. Okay, it's a different business model though. You don't own the customer, and it's a different business model, and I'll show you why. Because in network marketing, you're doing this. Amazon does this. You're doing this part. You're manufacturing a product and you're branding it, all right? And then Amazon owns the customer. You don't own the customer. And so remember, you want to be as close to the customer as possible. Solopreneurs, all right? Many of these are services, okay? So some examples are virtual assistant, social media manager, bloggers, writers, graphic and web design, photographer, bookkeeper, tax accountant, babysitter, handyman, translators, personal trainers, yoga instructor, taxi or Uber, affiliate marketing falls into that category as well. All right, solopreneur is somebody who says, I'm solo. All right, I'm just going to go out and do this thing. I'm going to make checkerboards with wood, or I'm going to do something like that. All right, and so that's a solopreneur. And the solopreneur doesn't realize what they got themselves into. What they have to do, this is not the pipeline. These are columns of things that they have to do. They have to get the insurance, the finance, the retirement, the legal, set up license and protection. They've got to do hiring, firing, and training if they want employees. They got to do the bookkeeping or get somebody to do it, the tax estimates. They've got to do the work. They got to do the pipeline. They've got to do the sales copy, all the marketing, the services, complaints, and returns. And they say, why in the world did I decide to do this? Okay, I know this one very, very well. I did a few of them. And if you're really good at this, you normally don't have time to do this. When you're really good at this, then you get people, you get people in who want your work, but you don't have time to serve them because you're trying to do this. And that's the big reason why I think it's 28 million small businesses in America, and 26 million of those have 0 employees. They're in this category, all right? This is what they're doing. Still in solopreneur, typically no leverage, meaning you do it all. Can't take time off or get sick. You're not allowed to get sick. Start over every day, right? That's your life. Sometimes you start over every paycheck, but in your life, it's start over every day. One person doing the pipeline, all right? And that's why I don't like affiliate marketing. How about a job? All right, well, the great part is that it's easy, relatively speaking. Salary minus tax. Okay, so $50,000 a year, 22% tax bracket, you actually make $39,000 a year. You have to wait for pay raises. That was what I disliked the most. I loved what I did, but I couldn't make any money, any extra money until I was in the military. It was when I was most frustrated with this. I couldn't make any money until somebody above me died or advanced. And so I was like, man, this is horrible. So, and then pay raise minus inflation. Okay, so when you do get a pay raise, you know, let's say it's a 2.4% pay raise minus inflation. In other words, the cost of goods and services, cost of gasoline, cost of food, all of these things go up in price at a higher rate than pay raises do. And so you actually get, on average, over the last 9 years, you get a 0.6% raise. Okay? So this is average America. And when I looked at it, I didn't like what average America looks like. 69% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings, and they have less than $20,000 in retirement. The majority of the people who then go to college, they are not what my guidance counselor told me they would be. Oh, there will always be work for blank, whatever that category is that I was looking for. And they always promoted that if you go to school, you make a whole lot more money. Well, I think they're comparing it to this average. And so this has 33,655 who are on food stamps. And these are PhDs. This one is 293,000 who had master's degrees. We paid out $65 billion for those food stamps, okay? We as Americans, in our taxes, we paid that out. So I didn't like the way that looked. That's the reason that I ended up finding network marketing. All right, so a traditional business, like a brick and mortar, and e-commerce. So I didn't talk about this in the deeper discussion, but a venture capitalist or bank funding it, you're going to be right around the average of $380,000. In other words, you're asking for a loan for $380,000. I'd build a network marketing business for education and residual income first. That's what I would do. I would not go this route, and I would self-fund it. Okay, so the training that you would get in network marketing, the skill set you would develop in network marketing will greatly assist you in any business you wanted to open. Okay, and so that's the reason that I would do it that way. Because it really wakes you up to what serving the customer is all about. So that would be the way that I would do it if I were going to do it, and I have done that. So I self-funded, if you will. So I owned 100% of my business instead of the bank or a VC. Brick and mortar, you got a lot of inventory issues. You have to always be ahead of inventory, but not too much ahead because it'll bankrupt you. And if you're behind in it, then customers don't like to wait. They'll go to somebody else. So there's inventory, liability, rent, employees, geographic limitations, and then marketing. Those are the things that you're going to be doing. And so in network marketing, you're doing marketing. That's why I like it, and training. E-commerce, okay, you don't want that kind of level. All right, you still got manufacturing, branding, warehousing, online store, customer service, and complaints. You own the shopping. If you own the shopping cart and database, you're held hostage by the programmers. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but you go out and you need somebody else to build your shopping cart. They're building your database and they are putting in security measures and all these things. And then you're totally held hostage. Like, I can't let go of this guy because he knows all the stuff and he's the only person who knows it because I don't understand it. Okay, so that's and it's good to own your shopping cart because you can have upsells, you can have all these additional things. However, it comes at a cost. Or you can say, I'm going to go to Etsy or Amazon, eBay, one of these. But now the customer is bombarded with options from others. Okay, so it's good in a sense because you're not held hostage, but at the same time, your customer is held hostage or is bombarded when you come in. Okay, so now let's look back at this because now you can see why I want to partner with all of this and only do this. And so network marketing, partner for everything except customer and rep acquisition, residual on customers and reps. Okay? So if you can just imagine that, I don't know, I think I paid about $1,000, $1,200 maybe for a group of products about, I don't know, 9 years ago. And now there's $500 million of business under me. Okay? Like, that is called low risk. That's very low risk. If I crashed and burned, what was I out? $1,000 in some hours, maybe years. Okay? You got to compare that to a traditional business. Like, that's insanity when you do a comparison. I love network marketing just simply because I could create a residual income. That's it. I wanted something to where I could put in place and then go and do what I loved. That's really what I started with. It was like, man, I don't have enough money to do the things I love to do and work. And so I need something that I can have a long trajectory on the income, and then I would be able to have the time to do what I wanted to do. Okay? So residual income on customers and reps. In other words, I own those customers and reps, as opposed to in most businesses, you don't own them. You don't own them in Amazon. A lot of the affiliate marketing, you don't own them if you take somebody else's product. The social culture, this is another thing that nobody really ever recognizes about network marketing, that each product, whatever it is, it ends up having a social culture that surrounds a product. And what that does is that it drives that vertical deep. Okay, so in marketing, you're always talking about the horizontal line and the verticals. And the verticals would be that, let's say that you wanted to drive one product deep. Let's say it's weight loss. Well, we're able to build a culture around weight loss. Like, the whole focus is that. Facebook pages and groups and various different things, parties, pool events, things like that we do, incentive trips around it. And if you just think that through, there's not normally, like, Tide is not going to get women together and say, let's go wash clothes, It's just not the same kind of culture that you get in network marketing. And that is what drives that vertical down deep. That's what businesses want to do, is to drive those things and have a culture around them. But it's very hard to do in a traditional business compared to network marketing. Multiple people doing the pipeline. This is an absolute must. Way before I ever did the comparisons to show that we made more money than more people make $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 than in real estate. Way before that, I had already chosen network marketing because I didn't want to sell a house and then be unemployed until my next sell. I wanted to build that whole residual and then have other people building, and they get the same comp plan as me. It's not any kind of a ripoff. It's actually completely fair, the most fair I've ever seen in any business model. So, and then also the training, I couldn't have done without the training. So just as a wrap up here, the network marketing benefits, I've sorted these things in a particular way. It's what I like the most about it. But in the very beginning, I would have had the last one as the first one. So I can go through here. I'm going to go through here, and you decide where you think it ought to be. So it can be exponential and residual. That's my number one now, because like I want to set it up and it run. Team effort. It's not just me out there, So I'm allowed to take a day off, a week off, or whatever I want. Reps, not employees. A lot of people think they have leverage because they have employees. They have a lot of debt now. In other words, you start every day and you've got, you have to make payroll. And you say, okay, so every day I have to sell a certain amount of products in order to pay payroll at the end of the month or the end of the week, whatever your pay period is. And so that's a lot of burden on a business owner. Can build from anywhere. I'm literally living up in the mountains and I'm on a farm right now. We call it far away, okay? So legitimately, I love being able to work from anywhere I want. Low financial entry and risk, I've already talked about that. I own my customers. I'm in the 1099 tax system. What that really means is that this $55,000 wall I've got behind me I was able to write that off in taxes as a business expense. All right. And that is what I mean when I say, all right, so what is the big difference? Is that most of the time you never know that the tax was taken out of your paycheck. You just get your paycheck and you go on. You don't realize that 24% or 22% was taken out of it. And when you realize how the wealthy really create their wealth, that section is a big part. Geographic diversification. In other words, I don't want to be limited to just the United States. I don't want to be limited to just a town. Okay, and a lot of people put up a mom and pop shop or a franchise and they're limited to that location. Work with people that I want, money and time freedom, easier transition from part-time to full-time. I went part-time, took me about 2 years to get to $20,000 a month. And like, I couldn't have done it because I didn't want to really get out of the military until I knew that I had something done. And then marketing is dynamic. And what I mean by that is that I'm not pinned down to one marketing method. Some people on my team, what they do is that they go to events. Other people that I have on my team, they're about going into these expos and setting up a booth or a table or something like that and marketing. Some other people do direct marketing. Some others run Facebook ads. In other words, I'm not limited to any marketing method. And so many times people say, oh, this is one of the things where you got to talk to your friends. No, you can talk to your friends. You don't have to talk to your friends. Marketing is dynamic. You can use any method known to man. And then the availability of training. And like I said, that was my first one when I started because I was like, I know how to defuse bombs, but I don't know how to do marketing. And so if it hadn't have been for those people, I would have never learned it. All right. So very thankful for that. Let me know what you think on this. And then also, please do me a favor. Write up anything else that you want me to compare it to. So I'm in a category right now called What is Network Marketing? The first section I did, What Network Marketing Isn't. And now I'm doing What Network Marketing Is. Is there anything else you want me to talk about in this category? And then also give me a thumbs up if you like this. Thanks so much.